Real estate on.
Hey,
Good morning.
Randy. Happy New Year.
Yeah, for sure. Can you believe it's already? I mean, we're already halfway through the
I
first.
know. Yep. It's
Crazy,
almost not
crazy.
Happy New Year anymore. we're almost right into 2023.
I know. And so you haven't been on in a while. So tell us a little bit about the market and how that's changed from, a couple months ago to now, the first of the year.
Okay. So the market 2022, another very interesting year in real estate. So the first half of the year, rates started climbing, but still really hot market wise. And then late quarter three into fourth quarter, rates peaked up over 7%. So kind of reeled things in, things slowed down. And then rates did drop a little bit from the 7% at the end of the year. But let's look at some stats. So we'll compare 2022 to 2021 for SLO County. So keep that in mind. It's county-wide. So there's a lot of micro markets and a lot of different property types and price ranges in the county. So it may not resonate, for you personally, but county as a whole. We had a 14% approximate price increase from 2021. So still strong number there. Average days on market bumped up from 7 days in 21 to about 9 days in 2022. So that's almost a 30% increase there. But when we consider a normal market, it takes 45, 60 days or so to sell a house. So we're still looking pretty good there. And then home sales declined month to month pretty consistently throughout 2022. And the average, so we're looking at a 30% drop in home sales for 2022 compared to 21. So pretty big drop there. And that's really largely due to that increase in rates that we talked about and buyers, losing their affordability and ability to purchase or just deciding to hold off altogether.
And do you find it's more people around here that's selling and leaving, or people selling and just upgrading or changing homes?
Still quite a bit, kind of a mixed bag. People moving in from the LA or Bay areas or out of state even to retire or for job transfers. There's that. And there's still a good number of people leaving the state, moving up, moving down. So it's still a pretty mixed bag.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit about some of the listings that you have going on right now.
Yeah, so one in particular I'll highlight in Arroyo Grande. It's a mobile home listing in a park, 765 Mesa View Drive. So this is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just under 1,500 square feet. It's got some updated features, new hard surface flooring throughout, paint, appliances. So it's got a nice, open, airy floor plan, vaulted ceilings in the living areas. Got in the park, there's actually a lot of really nice amenities. You do get bang for your buck there. There's pools, hot tub, playground. There's a fitness facility. So a lot going on there, and you do have some ocean views there in the distance too. So it's a nice location.
Well, and speaking of that ocean views, I mean, that's a pretty nice ocean view.
Is.
I mean, because you're up top there in Arroyo Grande, up there on the mesa.
Yep. So you can see the dunes in the distance.
It's beautiful.
You can see the ocean. So price is at $359 on that.
Oh wow, that's not bad.
So for especially coastal area, it's not
and that's
bad.
A fairly new park.
It is, yeah. And this particular unit was built in 2000. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So that's, if the full listing details, on my website, to if people want some additional information or pictures.
Great. So the other program that you're involved with, which is Homes for Heroes, which is an awesome program. I'm always interested in hearing more and more about it. So tell me a little bit about the Homes for Heroes and recently a selection.
Yes. So we, our hero of the month, our first hero of the month was December. So thank you to everybody that got involved in that with nominations. We selected a teacher from Cat Culver Elementary School for our December hero of the month. It was, that was a lot of fun. The nominator, which is in the left side of the photo, she shared her story with her. That's her son there with her, at the impact that this teacher's had on her son and his education and his life. So it was a very Heartfelt, heartwarming story. So we headed out to the school during school hours and surprised Shannon with her plaque and gift basket. I think it was the day before Christmas break, so she was in her Christmas onesie,
That's why
pajama onesie.
Right.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. So now we're working on January Hero of the Month. So there's a tab on the website for Homes for Heroes, and it's, I mean, less than 2 minutes to do a nomination. I think there's 4 or 5 sections to input information. And so so there's teachers, law enforcement, military, healthcare, and fire. So if there's somebody in your life that falls under those Homes for Heroes categories, that's made an impact on you or our community, please go to the website and share your story.
And so that's what I was getting to is, so they give you a little bit of a story, a little bit of a background of why they're nominating that person.
Yes.
And then you go through those hundreds of, submissions and read them. I'm sure you're probably like, hey, I'm going to select all of them.
Yes.
But it's probably pretty hard to select just one.
It is. And then at the end of the year, we'll kind of put everybody back in the basket and revisit it and pick, so if it doesn't happen in the month that you nominate, then we'll do it again.
Oh, okay. So the ones that get nominated in December, January, February, whatever it is, and at the end of the year, you're going to have like the grand.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. And so everybody, so that's the trip to Europe or something like that. Right.
We'll see what happens with prices.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, cool. So how does somebody get in touch with you? So they want to reach out. They want you to list their house. They want to buy a house. How do they reach you?
Yes. So One Stop Shop is the website, pillarrealestate.com. My cell phone, also call or text anytime, 835-3425. Lots of good information on the website, though, blog posts, with what's going on in the market. Something I wanted to touch on, too, on just coming up this year, as far as what we're expecting. And there's a whole blog post on it, but I'm getting a lot of questions on, where the market is headed. So if we have a minute, I'll just share that. So I would say if we had to sum up 2023 in a couple of words, I would say normalizing or stabilizing, something along those lines, which, is going to look like prices flattening a little bit. There's probably going to be areas of the county that will have appreciation in prices, and then others that might drop a little bit, but across the board, probably just flat and pretty consistent with 2022. As far as rates go, I would say a same thing, pretty flat, pretty close to what we've been seeing. There's some experts saying that rates may drop later in the year. How much and when, we will see. So particularly for buyers, they're kind of thinking, do we wait until rates drop, or is it still a good time to buy? We could talk about that for an hour, but I'll just share a couple of the main points that I think on that. Number one, please confer with your team of professionals, your savvy realtor and your savvy lender. I think that that's a decision that the professionals, we want them to weigh in on. They're probably going to share some things with you that maybe you wouldn't otherwise think of. So number one, talk to them and let them help you make the decision on your timing. It's going to be very individualized. And then secondly, mostly geared toward buyers. Right now, buyers have some bargaining power and some negotiating power that they haven't had in a long time. I think we touched on that in the last show, but it is worth mentioning again. It's important. Right now, you can negotiate with a seller on price, maybe with help buying down your interest rate to get your payment down, repairs, closing costs. All of those things are on the table and are sort of moving parts, and they haven't been since pre-COVID. So that is an upside to making a move right now. And then again, keep in mind, you can refi later to a lower rate when they do drop.
So you kind of have that negotiating power right now as the buyer.
Right.
And then as the rates hopefully drop down, then you refinance.
Yes. So, and then on the flip side, if you say, okay, I don't like where rates are at right now, we're going to wait. If you do wait, let's say they do drop later in the year, the downside to that is that demand's going to go up. there's a lot of buyers on the sidelines waiting for that. So when they do drop, those people are going to come back and start looking again. So now your rate on paper is lower, which is great, but you're going to pay for it with your negotiating power. You're probably not going to get closing costs. You might have to go above list price. The seller's not going to do repairs. So you lose that. So I think that's a really important point that I want to get across for people kind of trying to decide what to do. Keep that in mind, and then let your realtor help you.
Awesome. And that's a little bit of your background as far as like you really work for your clients.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yep. I think it's a relationship. This is not just, I'm here to find a house for you. We got to build a relationship together. I am always looking out for your best interest, even if it means that you're going to wait 2 years to buy or sell. I'm in it for the long haul if that's what's best for you.
Right. Because you're building that relationship with that buyer and or seller.
Yep.
So beginning of 2023, we have the whole year of unknowns, of interest rates up and or down.
Yep.
And then of course, inventory.
Yep.
So inventory is probably still out there quite a bit, but then we have more buyers coming in.
Right. So for sellers right now, there's, a lot of people don't sell right now, or, winter time is usually, people avoid putting their house on the market. So right now there is very little inventory, less than normal. So, your home has a chance to stand out. So that's one plus of listing now. And the buyers that are looking right now are serious buyers usually. And then, as opposed to waiting until the spring months, that's generally a more popular time for people to list their homes. So now sellers, you have more competition. There's more houses out there to choose from. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And one more time, how does somebody get a hold of you?
PillarRealestate.com.
PillarRealestate.com.
Yep.
They can find all your information there.
It's there.
Phone number, email, and even listings.
Yep. Listings there too.
Awesome.
All right.
Amber, thanks
Thank
again
you,
for coming
Randy.
on. Really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Really appreciate
Good to
your
see you.
sponsorship and support as well.
Yep. My pleasure.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this episode with Pillar Real Estate, Amber Johnson. She's one of our great sponsors, and we appreciate her. And as always, we can't make any of this stuff happen without all of our sponsors, which is Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, Pillar Real Estate, and 805 Customs, guys. Thanks again. Tune it in, share it, everything. We'll see you next time.